Yo, what's going on, Son of Chaos, and welcome to another Scamfish commentary. So today we're gonna be looking at this one woman who thinks she is talking to, um, damn it, I forgot what was I forgot what was the celebrity's name. Damn it, I forgot. We'll just have to play the video. But anyway, let's get down to it.
I am almost positive it's him. He said, "You are my fiance, we are engaged, and we are going to get married."
This woman thinks she's in a relationship with acting legend Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, that's what that is. Okay. So yeah, apparently this woman thinks she's talking to Kevin Costner. Yeah, you could probably take a gander of what's gonna happen.
I joined some Kevin Costner clubs, and he said, "Shelley, I'm the real deal."
She says she's 90
The real deal, huh? I just bet he is.
90% convinced that this is the real Kevin Costner.
He wanted me to deposit some checks in my bank electronically. I said, "Okay." He said, "You can keep some of the money."
Join us on another episode of Scamfish.
She's been through 20 different banks.
I'm worried I'm going to go to jail.
We'll dive into whether she's communicating with the real Kevin Costner.
She has an attorney friend she spoke to about it. They're claiming it's a 50-50 chance that this is really Kevin.
Huh? Or a Kevin imposter.
He said, "You're going to have to pay a meet and greet fee." And then I said, "I don't pay to meet men." I said, "Gigolos do that."
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your engagement with our videos help us reach new audiences.
I'm sorry, I had to giggle a little bit because the way how she said it was just the way how she just said. I was like, I'm sorry, gigolos do that. Every time I hear the word gigolo, I just start laughing. But anyway, let's continue.
Can potentially stop other people from being scammed.
Real quick, I know I've said this time and time again. Feel free to check them out because honestly, Social Catfish can really help y'all learn about, scammers and other stuff. And I'll tell you what, if y'all ever feel like you are about to get scammed, come talk to me on Twitter and we can talk about it in the Twitter DMs. Feel free. I'll help you out as much as I can.
Team, so we're back with another case. This is an email from a woman named Shelley who's writing in about a celebrity. I'll read the email. Dear Catfish team, I believe I am talking to the actor Kevin Costner, but the situation has become overwhelming. We have been communicating online for over a year, and he recently asked me for $7,000 to secure a lease and live with him in California. The problem is that I have had accounts closed at 4 different banks after checks he sent me were flagged as fraudulent. I'm asking you to investigate so I can find out whether this is the real Kevin Costner. Sincerely, Shelley.
I'm Shelley, and I am 68 years old, and I am living in Durham, North Carolina. I have since high school. My stepfather dragged us here whenever he
If you excuse me, I'm gonna go get something to eat. Hang on.
was promoted to vice president of General Telephone here from Santa Monica, California, and I've been here ever since. I'm a retired nurse, and I was a social worker, so no, I am not working now. About 4 years ago, I had thyroid cancer, and they had to snip out my throat.
Yo, hold up. Okay. I'm gonna go get my food in the microwave, and then I'm gonna come right back because, dude, that shit is horrible. I'm gonna replay this again. Be right back.
Thyroid. I had 2 eye surgeries. I had a tumor in my nose, in my sinus, which they had to cut out, and oral surgery. So that took a toll on me. I like get-togethers with lots of friends. I belong to a lot of singles groups. I love my church. I love wildlife. I have woods behind me and a creek, and I have a lot of wildlife, so I enjoy the wildlife, the raccoons, the possum. I don't enjoy the hawks. They try to sometimes get the animals. I have squirrels, birds, raccoons, possum, and I just love all of them. And my cat is jumping. I've got 10 cats, and this one here is trying to get in the picture here. That's lucky. That's the newest edition. I got married when I was 18. That lasted about 10 years. And then there was infidelity, so I left him. I was not going to put up with that. Then when I worked as a nurse, I dated one doctor at Duke, and then that didn't work out. Then I dated another one when I worked at UNC Hospital, and they were both neurosurgeons. And then I was engaged to somebody for about 18 years, very wealthy guy, very handsome guy, but he was exciting. I enjoyed the trips and I enjoyed the money he spent on me, but it just didn't work out. So I haven't dated anybody for about 10 years now.
With Shelly not being able to work and no family around, she began to spend the majority of her time on social media.
I was on Instagram and I'm on Facebook, and I joined some Kevin Costner clubs, and he approached me July 7th of 2024. He said, "Shelly, you're following a lot of Kevin Costner's I'm the Real Deal." I said, how can you prove that? He said, "Well, I'll show you a picture of who I'm with right now." Her name was Carolyn Goodson. And so I looked on her Facebook page, and indeed she was with Kevin. And I said, "Are you dating her?" He said, "Oh no, she's younger. She's visiting here. Her and her family are renting Dunbar Ranch. He owns a ranch there that he rents out." So we started out as friends.
Even though Shelly told Kevin she wanted to be friends, the relationship eventually blossomed into something bigger.
As we grew closer, he had begged me to come visit him in California. So then by April, I said, "Okay, I'm ready to come." And he said, "Well, you're going to have to pay a meet and greet fee." I said, "I don't have the money for a meet and greet fee." And I said, "I'm your girlfriend. Why would I do that?" And he said, "Well, look, when you come here, you can move in with me." And I told him, I said, "I'm not on a shack up job. I could rent one of your houses maybe." He said, "Yeah, I do have houses." And he gave me the names of the towns, Montecito, Ventura. And he said, "You could rent a property there if you wanted to till we get married." And I said, "Okay, then."
Work and no family around, she began to spend the majority of her time on social media.
Sorry if I took so long. I was trying to get me something to eat, and I had to heat it up in the microwave real quick and see where I left off.
Cancer, and they had to snip out my throat,
Dude, the fact that she had thyroid cancer, that's fucking terrible. Seriously, that is fucking terrible. I kind of feel bad for this woman. I really do. Thyroid cancer is one of the worst. I want to say it's one of the worst cancers that you could ever get.
My thyroid. I had 2 eye surgeries. I had a tumor in my nose, in my sinus, which they had to cut out, and oral surgery. So that took a toll on me. I like get-togethers with lots of friends. I belong to a lot of singles groups. I love my church. I love wildlife. I have woods behind me and a creek, and I have a lot of wildlife, so I enjoy the wildlife, the raccoons, the possum. I don't enjoy the hawks. They try to sometimes get the animals. I have squirrels, birds, raccoons, possum, and I just love all of them. My cat is jumping. I've got 10 cats, and this one here is trying to get in the picture here. That's lucky. That's the newest edition. I got married when I was 18. That lasted about 10 years, and then there was infidelity, so I left him.
Of course, infidelity. Why am I not surprised? Now, just real quick, I just want to talk about something about that. I'm just gonna put it like this. I'm just gonna put it as of like this. Infidelity. Can't talk today. Infidelity is like a mountain. It's gonna be a while before you get to the top. And not to mention, infidelity is like a mountain. It's just you're gonna be climbing that mountain for you're gonna be climbing that. Infidelity is like a mountain. It's gonna take a while to get over from that hill. It's gonna take a long time to get over the hump, and and I understand that infidelity is not good. I always say that you can forgive somebody, but you don't forget. Now, am I saying that cheating is wrong? Yes, and honestly, the best way to handle that situation is to just have a sit down, just have a sit down with your partner, or just go to marriage counseling, if you know what I'm saying. You know, that's what. At least I think that's the best solution.
I was not going to put up with that. Then, when I worked as a nurse, I dated one doctor at Duke, and then that didn't work out. Then I dated another one when I worked at UNC Hospital, and they were both neurosurgeons. And then I was engaged to somebody for about 18 years, very wealthy guy, very handsome guy, but he was exciting. I enjoyed the trips and I enjoyed the money he spent on me, but it just didn't work out. So I haven't dated anybody for about 10 years now.
Can't say I really blame her for wanting to set ship. Honestly, I don't really blame her for wanting to set ship on that wealthy relationship. I mean, for fuck's sakes. I mean, I get it, like, the dude is wealthy, but I'm pretty sure that, money is not everything.
With Shelly not being able to work and no family around, she began to spend the majority of her time on social media.
I was on Instagram and I'm on Facebook, and I joined some Kevin Costner clubs, and he approached me July 7th of 2024. He said, "Shelly, you're following a lot of Kevin Costner's I'm the Real Deal." I said, how can you prove that? He said, "Well, I'll show you a picture of who I'm with right now." Her name was Carolyn Goodson. And so I looked on her Facebook page, and indeed she was with Kevin. And I said, "Are you dating her?" He said, "Oh no, she's younger. She's visiting here. Her and her family are renting Dunbar Ranch. He owns a ranch there that he rents out." So we started out as friends.
Even though Shelly told Kevin she wanted to be friends, the relationship eventually blossomed into something bigger.
As we grew closer, he had begged me to come visit him in California. So then by April, I said, "Okay, I'm ready to come." And he said, "Well, you're going to have to pay a meet and greet fee." I said, "I don't have the money for a meet and greet fee." And I said, "I'm your girlfriend. Why would I do that?" And he said, "Well, look, when you come here, you can move in with me." And I told him, I said, "I'm not on a shack up job. I could rent one of your houses maybe." He said, "Yeah, I do have houses." And he gave me the names of the towns, Montecito, Ventura. And he said, "You could rent a property there if you wanted to till we get married." And I said, "Okay, then if you're not going to pay my way, how am I coming there?" He said, "I fly free with American Airlines, but it's a risk because I inherited those benefits. You fly standby and you don't always get on a flight." So he said, "Well, I'm paying child support quite a bit, like $60,000 a month." And
Just look at this. Just look at the message. "I'm sorry, I can't afford to I can't afford to get you a plane ticket. I'm paying $60K a month in child support." Uh-huh. I doubt Kevin Costner has kids. I doubt it. Actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna look at my phone and see what they have on Google on Kevin Costner, cause I almost guarantee he probably doesn't have kids. Then again, I could be 100% wrong. I don't know. Let me go look it up.
he said, "Why can't you just pay your way?" And he said, "You were a former nurse." I said, "I'm not working right now."
I love this message. I don't understand why can't you pay. Why you can't pay? Don't nurses make money? Dude, she's a retired nurse. What the hell did you expect for her to do? And it's pretty obvious that the scammer is It's pretty obvious that this scammer is. I don't understand. Like, how can a scammer not know that she is a retired nurse from the hospital? Like, seriously. How the fuck did the scammer did not know that? Like, I swear, scammers, dude.
I said, I had 4 surgeries this year.
Being that Shelly didn't want to be in a relationship in the first place, she wasn't about to put up with Kevin's games. So she decided to block him.
So he texted me and he said, "Why did you do this to us?" I said, "If you decide you want to meet me, you call me. Until then, I'm leaving you alone and I'm ending it." And he just was very distraught and said he was upset and said, "I'll do whatever I can then to get you here." I said, "Where am I going to?"
Hold up, I just found something. Okay, so apparently he does have children. He has Liam. There is Liam Costner, Annie Costner, and Sidon Watts Costner. So there's three of them. Let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, so there's like, oh yeah, he has like 6 kids. Okay, never mind. I was wrong.
Okay, he said, with me. And he said, and when you get here, we can always go to my cabin in Colorado, too. He said, I'd love for you to see that. At that point, he said, look, can you do me a favor and
Okay, so here's what I'm not understanding. If Kevin Costner has 6 kids, why is he asking to have her pay her way? Why is the scammer asking her to have her pay her way? Just honestly, this is fucking ridiculous.
deposit some checks electronically in your checking account? And he said, you can keep some of the money and I'll keep some of it. I need an attorney to lower my child support. So he deposited it at PNC Bank. It went through, they cashed the checks. He let me keep like $300 for my cat's vet bill. And then I sent it back to him Zelle. Then he wanted me to deposit some more checks in an ATM. And that night when I did it, it was raining and the rain fell on the check and the check started kind of smearing.
Smearing, huh? Sounds like it's counterfeited.
And I called him. I said, is this a counterfeit check? What's going on? He said, no. And so the bank called me the next day and said, why were you depositing these checks ATM? Why couldn't you just come in? I said, it was raining. And they said, well, our fraud department's going to close the account.
And of course, all thanks to the scammer, her account got closed. Thanks to this stupid ass scammer. Honestly, like, okay, so here's the thing. I have a little story to tell, but I'm gonna wait till the end of this episode of this commentary because I got a lot to say. But anyway, let's continue.
So I said, but the checks did clear. They said, yes, the checks did clear. But they said, it's just suspicious that, these checks are not in your name. They're written out to a dentist. Then we went to another bank and they closed the account. They said that check was counterfeit.
Yep, no surprise there.
Same scenario with maybe 3 or 4 other banks. That went on up until June. So then in July, we got into a bad argument. And I said, you're not Kevin, and I'm going to give these checks to the police.
Honestly, giving those checks to the police is the right thing to do. Honestly.
He said, you do that. I have your address.
Remember, I have your address. And she's like, is that a threat?
I said, is that a threat? I said, what, are you going to come here and kill me? He said, no.
Of course. Just a typical scammer that's just trying to scare this woman into coming over to her house and threaten her. Oh yeah, big man. What is the big ass scammer gonna do? Break her arms?
If you keep the money from that last check, he said, I'll prosecute you.
Oh, prosecute, huh? Oh yeah, big threat. Oh yeah. Seriously, what is the scammer gonna fucking do? What, break his arms? I mean, break her arms? Seriously? Oh, look at me, I'm a scammer, and I'm big and scary. I'm like, what is your ass gonna fucking do? Honestly, if I was in her shoes, I'm like, I would have been like, oh yeah. I would have been like, oh, look at Mr. Big and scary scammer. What is your ass gonna do? Hit me in the face? Honestly, if I was in their shoes, I would have been like, go ahead, do it, bitch. I'm not afraid of you.
I said, well, if you have my address, I come from a big mafia family.
Oh, honestly, like, this scammer better choose his choices wisely, because I'm gonna tell you what, Excuse me for a second.
They'll protect me. And so then he really got nervous. And Didn't talk to me for about a week. And then I saw on the internet he was in Colorado at his cabin. It was on Dunbar Ranch on Facebook. And he said, "Yes, I'm here, Shelley, and I didn't tell you I was coming." And he said, "If you look at that picture that you just sent me," he said, "there's two guys standing beside me." I said, "Yes." He said, "The one guy, both are bodyguards." He said, I'm having to do that now because you threatened you have a mafia family." I said, "No." I said, "Babe, I was just scared. That's the only reason I said that." So he started laughing and said, "Okay." So he said, "I'll call you right back." And then he wouldn't call. And then did that for a week. And then he said, "Do you need a babysitter? Do I have to text you 5 times a day?" I said, "You always text me 3 times a day." Then it was about 11 o'clock at night around July 7th when he got back to Santa Barbara. And I said, "Where are you? You were supposed to call me 10 minutes ago. You told me you were going to call me at 11. He said, "I'm friggin'," and he uses the F word a lot.
All right, go back.
He said, "No, if you keep the money from that last check," he said, "I'll prosecute you." I said, "Well, if you have my address, I come from a big mafia family."
Dude, okay, again, dude, like, if I was this scammer, honestly, this scammer needs to choose their choices wisely. You don't want to fuck with someone who came from a mafia family. Nah. Honestly, like, I wouldn't fuck around with that. Trust me, I would not fuck around with that. I'll tell you what, if I was, honestly, like, I don't blame this woman for wanting to have her mafia family try to protect her. I'll tell you what, if the scammer wants to fuck around with this woman, go ahead. Fuck around and find out.
Family that, they'll protect me. And so then he really got nervous and didn't talk to me for about a week. And then I saw on the internet he was in Colorado at his cabin. It was on Dunbar Ranch on Facebook. And he said, "Yes, I'm here, Shelley, and I didn't tell you I was coming." And he said, "If you look at that picture that you just sent me," he said, "there's two guys standing beside me." I said, "Yes." He said, "The one guy, both are bodyguards." He said, I'm having to do that now because you threatened you have a mafia family."
Dude, you threatened this woman. You threatened this woman first. So guess what? If you're gonna be if you're gonna be threatening her, then guess what? She has the right to protect herself. Dumbass.
I said, "No." I said, "Babe, I was just scared. That's the only reason I said that." So he started laughing and said, "Okay." So he said, "I'll call you right back." And then he wouldn't call. And then
How much you want to bet me that this scammer has no security guards at all?
did that for a week. And then he said, "Do you need a babysitter? Do I have to text you 5 times a day?" I said, "You always text me 3 times a day."
I was like, "Do you need a babysitter? Do I have to text you like 5 times a day?" Yet you got some cocksucking low-life scammer who needs attention.
Then it was about 11 o'clock at night around July 7th when he got back to Santa Barbara. And I said, "Where are you? You were supposed to call me 10 minutes ago. You told me you were going to call me at 11. He said, "I'm friggin'," and he uses the F word a lot. "I'm effing 10 minutes late calling you and you freak out." He said, "I'm getting tired with this interrogation."
What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm 10 minutes late. I'm getting so tired of your shit. Huh, funny. Yet you're getting tired of her shit, but yet at the same time, you're a scammer getting upset, trying to emotionally manipulate this woman. Excuse me. Yet you're getting upset because you're not getting what you wanted, and you're trying to emotionally manipulate her. Is that what you're trying to say, dude? These scammers, they're fucking ridiculous. This motherfucker want to get upset because he's not getting what he wanted. Seriously? What a baby.
And I said, "I'm tired because you're being inconsistent. You don't call when you say you're going to lately." And then it was around September 15th that
Sorry about that. I kind of choked on my drink a little bit.
he said, "Well, if you're going to behave and stop nagging at me and yelling at me, we can go back together." I said, "Okay." So we've been getting along pretty good. And then about 3 weeks ago, he said, "You're going to have to pay a meet and greet fee."
Oh my god. Dude, look at these fucking prices. Tickets. Premium $200, gold $500, VIP $1,000. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Seriously? Are you fucking kidding me? What, $1,000 for a VIP? Dude, that's fucking ridiculous.
And then we will let go of the $50,000 for you to live in my property. And he said, all you have to pay is $5,000, and what $5,900. That's going to cover your meet and greet fee, your plane ticket, your relocation fee to move to California.
Now that Shelly and Kevin were back together and planning her move to California, he began asking her to deposit more checks.
I did it with my bank I've had for a long time, and they cashed the check for $1,500. He let me keep $200, and I gave the rest back to him. And they closed my account, so I couldn't send it Zelle like I did the last time. So I sent it in Apple Cards. They said that they just felt like it was really weird that he couldn't send the money Zelle, that he had to deposit the money electronically. He said, I can't do that because he said, I'm a celebrity, they'll know my name.
You know I have to be discreet because I'm a celebrity. Oh, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, this scammer who was pretending to be Kevin Costner, saying that, you know, I have to be discreet because I'm a celebrity. Whatever. Excuses. All fucking over again. Like, whatever. Dude, you are full of shit.
He never signs the checks with his name. It's always like Hugo Martinez, Paul Giovanni.
The first time Shelly got caught depositing Kevin's checks, she only got a slap on the wrist. But this time, things got much worse.
The issue is the banks are investigating this, the fraud department, and once all this gets investigated, I probably am going to have to pay that money back to the bank. My attorney, who's one of the best criminal attorneys in town, he said there's a 50-50 chance it could be Kevin Costner. And I said, but I do believe it's Kevin. He said it might be. But he said, you know, if the fraud department makes you pay those checks back, you still could be prosecuted if they deem them that they're counterfeit.
While knowing there's a possibility this might not be the real Kevin Costner, Shelly refused to believe otherwise. But he made it clear being part of his life will cost her.
He told me last night, we had a big argument. He said, if you don't want to pay the $5,900, you can pay $1,500. And he said, if you can't get that money up, then he said, you've got a problem. And he said, if you want to move in with me, you want to marry me, you get that $1,500 up. And he said, if that means me depositing another check, or you just pay it somehow. But he said, you're going to have to come up with that money. I said, you know, I don't pay to meet men. I said, gigolos do that. He said, you know, you're talking to a celebrity. He said, do you realize who you're talking to? And I said, you're a child of God, just like I am and everybody else is. I said, you know, a celebrity doesn't mean anything. I said, you know, I dated a neurosurgeon, and they...
Hold on, I gotta hear that again. I love what she said.
Refused to believe otherwise, but he made it clear being part of his life will cost her.
He told me last night, we had a big argument. He said, if you don't want to pay the $5,900, you can pay $1,500. And he said, if you can't get that money up, then he said, you've got a problem. And he said, if you want to move in with me, you want to marry me, you get that $1,500 up. And he said, if that means me depositing another check, or you just pay it somehow. But he said, you're going to have to come up with that money. I said, you know, I don't pay to meet men. I said, gigolos do that.
Dude, this shit makes me laugh. I'm not going to pay money to meet you. Only gigolos do that. Dude, that fucking cracked me up. Like, the way how she just put it, it was just... Dude, that shit cracks me up. Dude, like, oh, she cracks me up.
He said, you know, you're talking to a celebrity. He said, do you realize who you're talking to? And I said, you're a child of God, just like I am and everybody else is. I said, you know, a celebrity doesn't mean anything. I said, you know, I dated a neurosurgeon, and they went to school for 12.
She is right. A celebrity doesn't mean anything. I mean, you could be a celebrity today, and then all of a sudden you could fuck up on the internet, and all that shit, all that fame and money, it could be gone tomorrow, you know? She's right. I mean, just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean you get to be an asshole. But this is not a celebrity. This is a fucking scammer.
Years, that's something you never did. I said, you might have a bachelor's degree, but that's it. I said, you don't, you don't have the status they do. You're famous for being, an airhead actor. You're not a a physician.
On top of the emotional stress Kevin is putting on her, Shelly is feeling the
I gotta admit, I kind of like this woman. She's got a lot of fucking moxie. She does. And she's not afraid. And she's not afraid to say what's on her damn mind. I don't blame her. I don't really blame her for standing up to this celebrity, as she sort of say. Even though it's just a scammer trying to act like all big and scary, when deep down they're just scaredy. Well, okay, I'm not gonna call them scaredy cats. When really they're just, well, yeah, they're just pussies, basically.
pressure from the financial bind she's now in.
That bank closed out my account. All the other 5 banks closed out my accounts, and I'm having a problem opening a checking account. I went yesterday. Checks Systems has a marker on me now, and I don't know why. They told me to write them in writing. Why I'm not allowed to open a checking account anywhere. I'm worried about it. I started smoking again. I'm that worried, and I shouldn't be smoking. And I'm having a problem sleeping, and yeah, I'm very depressed. Crying spells a lot.
That sucks. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get. It's kind of hard to get asleep when, your whole world is being turned upside down because a scammer is just trying to trick you into doing something.
But I am almost positive it's him. He said, "You are my fiance. We are engaged."
She thinks it's him. Girl, no, it's not. It's a scammer.
And we are going to get married. But he told me last night and today, you don't pay it, it's over.
Stick around until the end, Seekers. We'll pull back the curtain.
Well, I guess it's over because you're a fucking scammer and you're just a cocksucking low-life piece of shit.
Curtains to reveal if Shelly has fallen in love with the real Kevin Costner.
I mean, I can't believe, as educated as I am, that I got involved in something like this. I mean, it's almost like he just has full control of me. It's really weird how this person has control over me.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing. And once you've done that, give this video a like too.
Again, feel free to check Social Catfish. Go ahead and check them out because, honestly, they make some good shit.
Hey Seekers, if you're only following us here, you're missing half the story.
Follow Catfish online on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for updates and content we don't share on YouTube.
If you're looking to contact us and you think you might need our help finding out who you're communicating with online, or maybe you need help breaking through to a friend or a family member, don't hesitate to reach out to our email, sharemystory@socialcatfish.com. We can help you find the answers you've been looking for. We have some work to do. Myself and David and Brianne sat down to go through Shelly's case.
Wow, so she really thinks that she's in a real relationship with Kevin Costner?
Yeah, I talked to her the other day and she says she's 90% convinced that this is the real Kevin Costner. He helps her pay for her cat food and she's in love with him. So she had been receiving checks from various people and he had stories as to why he was sending these checks, and she was allowed to take a portion of the funds. And so when she would take the funds, she would pay for the cat food.
The biggest issue to me is the banking stuff. So what's going on with that?
As of today, she's been through 20 different banks.
I can't stop head jerking. I legit can't stop head jerking. 20 banks?
20 different banks, and right now she doesn't even have a check.
Jesus Christ, 20 different banks? Yo. Dude, I feel bad for this woman. Though, at the same time, she probably should have knew better. She should have knew better that this is not Kevin Costner. Why would Kevin Costner ask for so much money or ask to marry her? Like, come on. I'm pretty sure he has a wife.
Checking account.
And she's 90% certain this is real?
Yes, 9 out of 10 are her exact words.
So she's dealing with a bunch of banks. fraudulent checks, and she still believes this is Kevin Costner. Why?
So she mentioned that when he reveals information to her, it's right before it's been publicized. To help her feel like this is more believable and that this is the real Kevin Costner, she has an attorney friend she spoke to about it, and they're claiming it's a 50-50 chance that this is really Kevin.
Huh. According to this, from what Google, and keep in mind, and apparently, according to this, let me see here. Okay, it says here, no, Kevin Costner is not currently married. He's finalized his divorce from Christine Burgardner in late 2023 after she filed in May 2023, ending their nearly 19-year marriage. And he's previously married to Cindy Costner before that. Let's see here. Christine Burgardner, married in 2024. Sydney Costner, his wife. They divorced in 1994. Oh, so that happened back when I was a kid.
All right, so look,
I know.
let's take a step back. Let's look at facts. Like, what can we do to like actually help her out? What facts do we have that we can research?
Well, she's claiming that these checks are coming from people that Kevin knows. A simple verification check about his management team, who's in his inner circle, so we can securely tell her, hey, look, these people are associated to Kevin or they're not associated to Kevin.
Right.
And also we should create an IP tracker just to see where this person's located.
Yeah, the IP trackers for the celebrity stuff is always like the go-to, because if we can show they're in a separate location, it's a lot easier to have that conversation with them.
All right, so it sounds like you got a pretty good game plan on the research stuff. I have a strong idea of where this is all headed, though.
Same here, but like we still have to present the facts. And I mean, we have to come with like concrete evidence. Like whenever we've run into these cases, like they're so convinced that these people are real, that they're really talking to the real person. And unless we come with concrete evidence, it's gonna be difficult convincing them otherwise.
Sounds like a plan. I need to get on a call with her right away and get more information about these checks.
All right, cool. Let's get to work, y'all.
All right.
After coming up with a game plan on how to break through to Shelly, the next day Brienne got on a call with her to get more context on these mysterious checks she's been receiving.
Well, thank you for meeting with me. I know you're not feeling well. I want to just get to the point very quickly here. I know that you had reached out to us about Kevin. How is Kevin? When's the last time you spoke to Kevin?
He didn't text me all day yesterday except for one sentence. And he said he wanted me to deposit some checks in my bank electronically.
Checks. Well, 9 times out of 10, those are probably fraudulent checks.
He did. I said, okay. He said, you can keep some of the money, and which I did. Not a whole lot, but it helped with my cat's vet bills. I do have a check here that he sent in the mail.
You didn't cash it?
No.
Oh.
That's smart, honestly. I'm glad that she actually did. I'm glad that she didn't cash the check that the scammer gave to her. That's smart.
Why hold on to this one but cash the other ones?
He deposited the other ones electronically.
How much is that check?
$3,000, I think.
Could you send those to me today, like ASAP? The sooner you send those to me, the sooner I can look into everything.
Yeah, I'm worried I'm going to go to jail because a few other banks, the checks did not go through. The last bank was Truist. It went through, but the fraud department's investigating because they deemed it counterfeit, and they told me not to withdraw the money. Cleared, so I went ahead and withdrew the money, and I got a letter saying that I should not have withdrew the money. They're investigating now. So I hope I don't go to prison. I'm worried. I'm scared about this.
I want to perform an online investigation. Kevin's not going to know I'm doing this. I want to get an idea of his management team and people he's associated with. I want to verify that and compare it to the people that you have been receiving checks from. Does that make sense?
Yes, there's another Kevin that's been texting me on Telegram, ironically, the same time frame.
Whoa. How many Kevins are you talking to right now?
Right now, 3.
How is she talking to 3 Kevins? How? So, let me get this straight. She is talking to 3 Kevins. Something tells me, like, I don't know. there's something oddly suspicious about that shit.
I want to look at the Kevin that you came to us for first, but I will look at the other accounts as well. No problem. I want to just collect everything I can from this Kevin here that you have the strongest connection with. And if you have the names of the people that have sent you the checks, who you transferred the rest of the funds to, any of the recipients there, I just want to verify that these are his close friends and they're tied to Kevin Costner in some way.
That was a thought of mine. My lawyer friend said there's a 50-50 chance it could be Kevin Costner. And then the former DA is a good friend of mine. He was our high school president, and we were at our high school reunion the other night, about 2 weeks ago. He said it wouldn't surprise me if Kevin Costner was involved in something like this.
Okay, so as of today, your beliefs are this is still the real Kevin.
9 out of 10, I'm going to say 9, it's him. But there's always that chance that it's not him. Like, I'm on Instagram, and I probably have...
I can almost guarantee you on these Instagram accounts, some of these are either created by... I'm going to be real. I'm willing to bet that most of these are created by scammers. And believe it or not, I am almost convinced that there are scammers on Instagram, and believe it or not, there are some on Telegram, which is something you gotta watch out for. I'm telling you right now, you gotta watch out for them on Telegram, Facebook, and Instagram. And not to mention Twitter. Well, okay, there hasn't been any scammers on Twitter lately, so there's that.
10 Kevin Costners per day trying to add me on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I have joined a lot of the fan clubs. And a lot of them will message me and say, I'm the real Kevin. They make videos. It looks like Kevin, but it's that A1 stuff. You know that?
Yep, those fan clubs are scammers, are probably. I want to say, and I get it, like, not everybody is a scammer, but at the same time, you just never know.
Isn't it that there's like this technology now that they can send a video and it looks like him?
Yeah, so I wouldn't know until we look into it. So we have the ability to do that for you, and I would love to do that. So as soon as we get off this call, as much information that you have, shoot it over to me, and then I can start digging, and this will help us verify which Kevin is the real Kevin, right?
Okay. I mean, I can't believe, as educated as I am, that I got involved in something like this.
I mean... 50-50, okay, now 50-50, she probably should have knew better, honestly. But at the same time, I can't really fault her for, I mean, I understand how certain women feel when they want to marry a celebrity. Technically, from what I've looked up on Google, Kevin Costner is technically not married right now. I mean, she probably has a chance. Who knows? I mean, she probably has a chance. And keep in mind, I don't like grilling. I'm not trying to grill this woman, honestly. She put up with so goddamn much with all of this Kevin Costner scammers and all this shit. I want to give her the benefit of a doubt here.
I mean, it's almost like he just has full control of me. It's really weird how this person has control over me.
I'm hoping to get you answers as soon as possible. If you could please just, in this time, do not send or cash that $3,000 check.
After Shelly had sent over the additional information about the checks, the research team got to work looking into everything regarding this Kevin Costner profile. A few days later, David and Brianne sat down with Shelly to give her the truth.
Happy Monday. Great to see you, Shelly. This is David.
So, how are you feeling? I mean, leading up to this, how are you feeling about everything?
Normal, not sad or happy. Just I've been feeling anxious for a long time, but I wouldn't say like I have in the past. I was very anxious in the past.
Just to fill David in quickly here, last time we spoke, you said you are a 9 out of 10. This is Kevin.
The reason I say that, he knows every move Kevin Costner makes. I mean, every move he makes. I mean, he'll tell me where he's going before it's even on Facebook or anywhere.
Well, let's jump into things because I think we have some interesting stuff for you. So let's talk about the first set of information you sent over. So you're talking to who you think is the real Kevin Costner, and you're using an email, fieldofat@gmail.com.
Yes.
We looked that email up, and so one thing that's interesting, Shelly, is like everybody leaves a footprint online, right? So if I was to look up your email right now, we could see like what accounts you're associated with. In fact, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if I look up your email address, okay? I'm looking right now, I literally just pulled up your LinkedIn account, and then there's a picture of you maybe with like a grandchild, right?
Yes.
And then an Instagram account, you have a Quora account, you have a Redfin account, a Disney account, Venmo, New York Post, ESPN,
Nextdoor.
Nextdoor, Page 6, I don't know what that is, it's a news, and then a Pinterest account. So literally, and a PayPal account. Is that all accurate?
Yeah.
So we pulled up this person's email address, and there was nothing associated with it.
Scammer.
Nothing. Not a name, not a website, nothing, which means that the email was just created and it's only used to talk to you.
Only to talk to me.
So the only thing attached to this email address is the WhatsApp, and that's how you're talking to this person. Why would nothing be attached except for a WhatsApp
Of course, typical WhatsApp where scammers are. Why am I not surprised?
account, and that's the only way you're communicating?
Because he's a celebrity, he said, and he doesn't give his actual email. He said he was just using that to communicate with me because he's a celebrity. And
Okay, but would you open up an email just to talk to someone?
if I was a celebrity, I would.
But your significant other, you wouldn't give your significant other a real email?
When he gave me that email, I didn't know him. I just met him that was day one.
Well, you've been talking to him for 18 months, and he hasn't given you his valid email address. He hasn't sent you any pictures of himself.
No.
Well, let's go through the next stuff. So that's just one thing that we saw, okay? And it's a red flag, just being candid with you. It's definitely a red flag. The other part is the phone number. So we looked up this phone number. The only thing about this phone number that it's a number in Covina, California, but it's a VoIP phone number.
Scammers aren't exactly calling from their personal cell phones. Instead, they use VoIP numbers, which stands for Voice over Internet Protocol. To most people, it looks like a totally normal number, which is kind of the whole point. But here's the twist. VoIP wasn't invented for shady business. Millions of regular people use it every day. It's cheaper than a regular phone plan, works everywhere from Wi-Fi, and allows you to run a whole business without carrying 3 phones. So while normal folks use VoIP to stay connected, scammers use it to vanish into the digital air.
Honestly, that's pretty clever for scammers because you never know if it's actually a real number or a fake one. Honestly, this stuff like this is really good to know.
We have 2 pieces of information. We have an email address and a phone number, and there's nothing connected other than a WhatsApp account.
Okay.
So let's talk about that email that you had received from the FBI. So I did some digging. I looked at the FBI email itself. When we ran a search on the email, there was nothing connected to the actual email. And this is supposed to be a verified FBI email, correct?
I think that was somebody pulling a prank on me. I'm intelligent enough to know that. And I emailed them back and I said, if the FBI wants me, they'll come to my front door. They're not going to be emailing me.
When I looked at the document, it stated that Special Agent Dean Phillips was on the case. Just so you know, with that document, we were able to validate that Special Agent Dean Phillips is an actual person, and he truly did work out of the Denver office for the FBI. He now works in the division from the headquarters in Washington, D.C. So whoever created this document photoshopped it.
Yeah, that makes sense because I used to work in law enforcement, many years ago, but I know how they operate. If they want you, they're going to come to your front door. Now, what did you transpire out of? You asked me to send that link to Telegram today. I mean, what was the reason for that?
Because we want to validate where he's located. So we want to try to get him to click on the link so that we can check where his location is at the time that he clicked on the link.
So, it looks like he clicked from what's called a VPN, and a VPN basically masks your location on the internet so that nobody knows where you're at. And so the person that actually clicked on this link, the VPN was from the UK.
Honestly, I'll be real. I thought it was going to be Lagos, Nigeria, but nope, I guess I was wrong. UK. UK. Damn, dude, I honestly didn't... Honestly, this cut me off guard. I'm going to be real. This literally cut me off guard. I'll be honest. So this is somebody from the UK. Then again, I'm not surprised if there's scammers in the UK. I'm not too damn surprised. Who knew?
Do you know why he would be trying to hide his location?
No, unless he's a celebrity, because he's a celebrity.
Or they're somebody that's trying to hide their location?
Let's talk about the checks a bit, because you just sent the checks over recently, and there's a bunch of names.
He said it's his accountant.
All of them.
He said his accountant travels, and then wherever he's at, he sends them from wherever he's at.
But why would it be in different people's names, Shelley? Because all these checks were in different people's names, and even a trust, by the way.
Well, he said he's a celebrity, and he said if he just signed it with his name, that they would be suspicious automatically and say that's a Kevin Costner.
If he was I'm gonna sit here and say this right now. If he was a real celebrity, he would have cashed a check from a real bank, like Bank America, Chase Bank, fucking. I can't even remember any other. I can't remember other banks in there. I can't remember a lot of banks in their names, but they're out there. Let's just say if Kevin Costner was going to be casting a check to this woman, I'm pretty sure it would have. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure it would have had an official Bank America or Bank of America, Discovery, fucking whatever bank that you could think of.
Or scam.
So wait, but the checks weren't even sent. They weren't even made out to your name. So how was that supposed to work out?
After a few banks, then he started addressing the checks to me, my name.
But that doesn't seem weird to
But
you?
they still felt like it. They just felt like, why can't he send it? The last couple banks said, why can't he send the money Zelle? Why does it have to be electronic?
One of the checks was a tax refund, okay? Kevin Costner's worth $250 million. I promise you, Kevin Costner's not getting a refund on his taxes. So why would you get a refund check from somebody else's name, by the way, not even Kevin Costner's name, sent to you?
Good point.
He said that his wife, Christine Baumgartner, the ex-wife, is watching his bank accounts.
So Shelley, let's do one thing. Like every answer you've given me today is, well, he said this, he said that, he said this. What do you think? So just taking a step back, logically looking at the situation, why would somebody send you all these checks in different people's names, right? Which we look these people up. These are people that are 60 years old in Jacksonville, Florida, or they're 48 years old, and they're single people, and
they also have no association whatsoever to Kevin Costner.
the bank is flagging all these.
Even the checks say forgery.
So not thinking about what this person told you, from a logical perspective, what does Shelley think?
I like I said, I thought there was a 90% chance it's him.
No, but what do you think, Shelley? Like we're breaking it down this for you. The guy's worth $250 million, Shelley. Do you think he's really getting a tax return?
I don't know.
No,
A tax
Shelley.
return for $2,000?
No.
No,
Right.
he's not.
Yeah.
I'm telling you he's not. I'm 100% certain he's not. So other people are sending you checks also. He's telling you could keep some of the money. He's not sending you money through Zelle.
You're in trouble with the banks. You've had to open up 20 different accounts. None of the banks want you. You don't have a checking account right now.
Do you think the real Kevin Costner, Shelley, would put you through this song and dance to send you like a check for a couple $1,000s?
Well, I believed it then.
What our goal is just to show you the facts, right? But what I'm trying to do is have you see the facts and not this facade, this story that this person's giving you, but from a logical perspective, being able to take a step back and being like, what's really going on here?
This is very disappointing, and I don't know how to end up with this guy because he has my address. I think he's in love with me. I'm glad I didn't go to California now because there's no telling who he is. I do think he's in love with me.
Shelley, this person that you're talking to is a scammer. This is
Yep, pretty much. And in the UK, mind you, which, yeah, I gotta say that, the UK does a pretty good job making themselves look bad. I'm gonna sit here and say that right now. If they're doing this kind of shit.
This is an online romance scam. Out of all of the years that we've been doing this, we've never seen a celebrity hang out in fan pages, fan clubs, and reach out to fans and ask them to pay for some sort of pass or a meet and greet. It's not reality. It doesn't happen.
That's all we're trying to help you out with. Like we care about you. We want to present the facts to you, but also like we want you to walk away with this because you're talking to four other Kevins, right? We want you to walk away from this and be like, okay, this is the reality. This is not real. Also, here's the other thing you need to realize. When you're accepting money from somebody else, they're being scammed just like you are. And when you cash that check, you put it in your bank account, you're taking their money. When you take their money and you use it to spend money on your cats or whatever else, you're stealing their money. When you take the money and you forward it to this person through cryptocurrency or gift cards, you're helping this person steal money. And so you continue to do this, you're literally helping these criminals commit crimes.
Well, I appreciate that. You saved me from investing a lot. I invested a long time, and that's energy I could have done something else with. So I'm glad I won't have to do that anymore.
Do you feel now that you can spot the fakes, like you know the signs and you know how to spot the fakes now?
Yeah, my brothers tried to tell me, I didn't listen to them.
It's okay. Sometimes, hindsight's 20/20. As long as you know.
Nobody's perfect after all. Excuse me for the bad cough. Nobody's perfect after all. Sometimes love can make you overlook a lot of BS, man. And it can make you do a lot of crazy shit. I can say that for certain.
Now.
How are you feeling, Shelly? You seem a little down.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
What are you most upset about?
Well, that I got lied to.
I'm sure you'll have a chance at some point to meet the real Kevin Costner. Just do it in the right way. Make sure you follow the real accounts on social media with the blue check mark. Follow the band. When he tours again, follow it, and then, try to book the concert and see if you can go see him.
Okay.
Sorry, Shelly. I know that it's not easy hearing this information. You've invested 18 months with this person, and they've gotten you in all sorts of trouble with the banks.
I mean, with check systems, I have to write them a letter, and they can explain to me why I cannot open an account.
Okay, so we got 1 minute and 45 minutes. Okay, so we got about a minute and 45 seconds. Okay, so I have a little there's a little story that I want to tell that happened in this group chat that I was in. Okay, so I don't want to make this too long. Again, my apologies for the bad cough. So basically, long story short, I was kind of making a joke and somebody took it. I was kind of making a joke about scammers and they kind of took it the wrong way. Let me just put it like that. And, well, okay, I'm going to go into detail. So in this group chat that I was in, it's pretty much your average hangout. It was pretty much your average hangout, and I was just making fun of scammers. I basically said, the scammers could take that shit to Hollywood, because honestly, they are a fucking clown. Kudos. And then this one dude's like, okay, that's enough. I was like, what? I was just making a joke. And this one dude was like, you shouldn't be making fun of people like that. You shouldn't be making fun of scammers like that. That's rude. I'm like, buddy, don't come at me with this bullshit about how we should be treating scammers the same way as other people. And I was just sitting there like, let me get this straight. So from what you're telling me is that we should be justifying scammers and their criminal acts. Yet knowing you got all these cocksucking lowlives who are basically just taking advantage of innocent people and their money. Is that what you're telling me? So yeah, I was pissed off about the whole thing. It's like, this person in the group chat was gonna sit there and tell me not to make fun of scammers, when 9 times out of 10, they're no better than anybody else. If you stop to think about it, I'm sorry, but I don't defend scammers, and I don't plan on to, if anything. Honestly, like, I'm sorry, but if you're thinking for 1 second that we should be treating scammers like regular people, you got another damn thing coming, dude. I didn't say that exactly towards him, but at the same time, I wanted to. I'm like, you're not going to tell me what I can and can't say about scammers. I'm sorry. They are nothing but cocksucking lowlife sons of bitches. That's what they are. And if people don't like that, then guess what? They can kiss my ass. Don't sit there and try to tell me what I can and can't say. It's my opinion, so... But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk to you guys about, a little story about what happened in this group chat that I was hanging out with. That's all it was.
And I don't know if I should respond that I got scammed. I don't know.
Yeah, but you still need to follow some sort of process, right? So you're covering yourself. If you can report this to local law enforcement, then that'll help back up your story even more with the check system and let them know, hey, I filed the report, I'm doing the right thing, and I was a part of this online scam. Because right now, if you're not going to report it, but you're going to tell the check system that you were part of a scam, but you haven't reported anything, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it doesn't look good for you.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we'll follow up with you Thursday. We'll put together the report of the research that we found, and then if you have any questions, you have my number.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
thank
welcome.
Glad we were able to help, Shelly. We'll talk to you later, okay?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Seekers, it's all.
Well, guess that's about it. Like, real talk for a second. I feel bad for this woman. Okay, 50-50, like, I feel bad for this woman, but at the same time, she should have known better, and she probably should have listened to her brother when he told her that, you know, it's probably just a scammer just trying to emotionally manipulate her, thinking that it's actually the real Kevin Costner. I feel bad. I truly do. I do. And it just... I'm sorry, but I mean, that one time when I was making a joke about scammers and this one dude was sitting there telling me, oh, you shouldn't be making fun of people like that. There are people too. Look, I get it. Times are hard, but it's no excuse to go around and start scamming people and having innocent people's money taken away. I'm sorry, but I don't justify scammers and their wrongdoing. It ain't right. But anyway, I think that's all the time I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next Scamfish commentary. If you guys want to see more of this, go ahead and click like, and I would appreciate it. That's all the time I have for this video. I will see you guys later, and remember, stay classy and watch out for scammers. See you later.